The Grow My Cleaning Company podcast helps owners of cleaning companies just like you to grow your company and yourself so you can make more money and finally get the time and money freedom that probably got you into this business. Discover how to automate and create systems that allow you to grow like crazy without losing control. If you dig the show and want to show some love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. It really helps. Enjoy the show.
What is up, Cleaning Nation? Lindsay B back here, and I have a special guest today. I'm so excited. I have Jackson Pinkowski on, and we haven't seen him in a minute. So Jackson is here because, well, he's been doing a few internal things for us lately, but he left Grow My Cleaning Company a few months back for greener pastures, though. Not that you died, Jackson, but yeah, so welcome back. And yeah, what have you been up to?
Yeah, good to be back. I think my last podcast was like, I don't know, feels like a long time ago. What month? We're in January?
Yeah, we're in January of 2023.
Last podcast was probably in like August or maybe July even. So,
wow.
God, time flies.
Yeah, I know you were at our June event, right? And we did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did a podcast
June
then.
event. We did a podcast in June. Oh my God. That's a long time ago. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we did a few after that, but
I mean, I'm sure anybody that's listening, but like when you get into a bunch of transition things start going on, you know, the months just kind of start flying by, right?
Yeah.
Because you when you're at a single job and you've been doing it for a while, it just feels like, you know, it kind of can drag on, right? But then once you get a new position, new opportunities, build stuff out, transitioning out of the old job like I was, it's before you know it, it's January of the new year, and you're like, wow, where did everything go?
Yeah, it totally for sure is. I'm just glad that I was so excited when I heard you're doing a few projects internally for us. I was like, oh my God, it's Jackson. And then I was thinking about podcasts, and I'm like, I would like to have Jackson on because it's been a minute and I know you have so much to share. So what I kind of wanted to hop into today was something very specific. And if I get too specific, you can pull me back. But lately in Cleaning Nation, we've had a lot of people out there, that business owners that are making a good amount of money. Say they're making they're doing pretty well. They're at like 20,000 a month in revenue or more. And they kind of just hit like a standstill where they want to grow more and they're doing great. But like, I want to know, is there any special things they can do in any kind of advertising, Google ads, Facebook ads, you name it, whatever you think is appropriate, that they can do to kind of get them out of that, you know, plateau, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
that rut, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, basically the I guess the caveat is if you're hitting that amount, like you could fall into a couple umbrellas. I'm assuming if you're hitting that amount on a monthly basis, you already have some sort of advertising going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say first, if you don't, and you're hitting that on a monthly basis, that's awesome, because once you just turn on like basic Google ads or basic lead gen ads or basic, you know, Facebook ads, if you're residential, it's pretty exponential. Like you'll have, because you've been doing it all organically, all without any type of fuel on the fire, right? Versus on the other hand, if you are doing ads, you might be looking and saying, oh, what can I do that's more that'll kind of push me over the edge. And to start that, you don't want to get complacent. A lot of times business owners will get complacent and be like, oh, I'm profitable each and every month. That's great. And then they'll just kind of sit there and let it stagnate and be comfortable with where they're at. Not saying that where you're at isn't good or by any means, but once you start relying on the same things repeating month over month over month, if something should happen, God forbid, to a customer or maybe the business, and for some reason you can't fulfill something and you lose a customer, you lose 2 customers, you lose 10 customers, then you're stuck kind of back at square one with no advertising and no growth per se. So when you're in that realm of thinking, oh, what should I do next? Usually the easiest thing for you to do is to not change anything you're currently doing, but to go back and look at your current customer list and see how this always has a negative connotation to it, but see how you can get more money out of them, essentially. And I don't
Okay.
mean that as a mean way or like
Yeah.
a money grabbing way or anything like that, but I'm assuming you've been serving these customers for a while. You know, especially on the commercial side of things, you know what their problem areas are. And say with a commercial client, maybe you've only been cleaning them once or twice a week. Um, Go back to them and add more value. How can you add more value? It's winter time here, especially in the Midwest, East Coast. It's Everything is so dirty. I mean, I have to mop my entryway, you know, twice a day, basically, just because of all the junk that gets dragged in. Um, is that an added value you can give back to that business? Additional cleanings for those kinds of things, carpet cleanings. Where are there problem areas that they handle internally or don't handle at all that you could take on, and really be that kind of saving grace for them? Because that adds up. You have 10, 15 customers and you add an additional, I don't know, $500 a month to each of those customers. That's a lot of money that all it takes is that conversation. And that's an obstacle a lot of people have. They get comfortable, they get afraid that the customer is going to come back and say, no, I don't, and then I don't want to do anything at all with you. That's definitely not the case. They're gonna be appreciative that you're looking out for them, that you want their business to succeed and be clean, or their house to be clean, anything like that. So they're not gonna, because you want to add additional features, they're not gonna say, I don't want to do anything at all. The worst thing they're gonna say is, no, we're okay for now, but thanks for looking out, right?
Right.
And that's all you can ask from people.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that. Especially me being the customer success manager here. I'm always thinking of ways that like add value for our clients. Not to charge them more, but just because we love them so much. And we want to see them succeed. So I love that idea of like, that's not even anything hard to do, really. Like, that's nothing fancy with like Google ads or Facebook ads. That's just looking at your customer list and like coming up with ideas. And I think too, you can just listen to your customers and like what they're telling you, like, oh, I'm so sick of like, people tracking in all this salt during the winter into my car dealership or whatever. And that's like, oh, you can just like pick up on that like right away.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities there. I love it. So add more value, first of all. Okay. So what's another, like, as Mike would call it, low hanging fruit? Like, what's something easy someone could do in that, space of 20,000 more a month? They want to get to like 50. What could they do?
Yeah, so I'm guessing too, in this apply, I might say commercial a lot, but this is going to apply to commercial or residential. Obviously, you put your own filter on it. But I deal with, in my current job, I deal with a lot of commercial businesses, so commercial's always on the front of my mind. But I'm assuming if you're at this point, you probably have a good chunk of people who you've worked with in the past that you're no longer working with, or people that you maybe done bids for, that you haven't received. And it's been some time, a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe a year, that you haven't done anything with, right? And if you've got a big enough list, there's really good potential for you to just reach back out. You don't have to do a hard sell or anything. You just reach back out and say, hey, I noticed like you reached out for a commercial cleaning. You were looking for X, Y, and Z. You decided to go with a different person. That's totally fine. How are things going? An added benefit too, you could even take some, if it's like a local business, take some time out of your day, go visit and see like if it's a car dealership, a restaurant, a gym. Go in and see how clean it is. See what issues are, and then you go back and you say, hey, just noticed, like, I was in the business the other day working out, and man, the locker room really smelled like poop. And that's super detrimental for a lot of people.
Yeah, that would be.
Because now you're coming at them from the point of a consumer with a solution, and they might not even know, or they might know and be like, yeah, you're right, I really have been struggling with this. What's your offer back for me? And you've got a list of 20, 50 people. You add 10, 15 of those people back. You're looking pretty good overall. Again, without spending a dime, just your own time. I mean, you might send them like a gift to try and sweeten the deal or something like that. But no ads, no nothing. You're just spending your time to follow up with these people.
I love that. These are, and it's not rocket science either, right? Like, it's so like basic. I think sometimes as business owners, people forget about the basics and try to get like all fancy, especially
Yeah.
beginning of a new year. It's like, oh, I'm going to do Facebook ads. I'm going to do Google ads. I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you could totally just keep it simple to start and probably see some good results based on what you're saying.
It's always pride. It's like just people's pride and understanding. Like they don't think they can follow up, or they don't think they want other people to hear from them, or they're afraid of the rejection of things. You just gotta get over that hump. And like the new year is a perfect excuse for it, because you can say, hey, happy 2023. What are your business goals for this year? Spoke to you last year. We have a new offer. We have new services. We're going to give you a free card, whatever that may be. But you can leverage so much in this time period. And this is where people are looking to make business changes, quarter one. This is like, especially retail or anything like that. They have less to focus on, more to focus on in terms of like little issues that they have, especially with cleaning.
I love it. Yeah.
So hop on that.
Yeah. I mean, residential, the same thing too, right? I mean, people's
Yeah.
like New Year's resolutions could easily be like their house being clean this year.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Residential, I mean, they had busy holiday season. They're tired of cleaning the house. They've come to the realization of, why am I cleaning the house, all the time? I work a lot. I don't really have the time to do all this stuff. It wouldn't hurt to have someone come in a couple of times a month to just, do cleanings on top of, us doing our normal things, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty important there.
Nice. All right, let's bring out the big guns, the bigger guns. So let's get a little more complicated. Little bit. So what if someone's, I don't know, you can pick your poison in Google ads, Facebook ads. What if someone's ad campaign, they're running, it's giving them good results, but they want to pump it up. Like they want to really bring in people this year and hit that 50,000, 70,000, whatever a month revenue. What could they easily do that's next level from in that role?
So it's like a combination of two things. It's one thing, spend more money.
Okay.
Especially, so if you've got stuff that's working, just turn up the juice and put some more money behind it to make it work faster and better. And then number two is, you really got to make it an experience for people. You really got to, you have the money now. You realize, like, you're comfortable with the end. I'm saying this pretty explicitly. You have to be comfortable with the income, and you have to be comfortable with setting a marketing budget each and every month. So It's not like, oh, I have $2,000 to spend and I need to get this. It's like, no, you have $2,000 to spend on marketing. If you get that money back, great. If you don't, you won't be able to spend $2,000 the next month. You've got to have the marketing budget to work with it. And you've got to build this experience around your business. Your business is more than just a cleaning company, commercial or residential. It is a problem-solving company. You post content online. You have cleaning tips. You have video reviews. You have employee reviews. You have a whole ecosystem within your business to provide value back to people in your community specifically. So especially on the residential side, it's like we have one pest control company, for example. I know it's not cleaning, but pest control company that services basically our entire neighborhood. And that's because they've built up, we are the cleaning solution for Oakwood Falls, is my neighborhood, as it's called. And so they have, that's their whole premise about it. That's how they build their social. That's how they build their ads. If you're in this area, the surrounding areas, we are the service provider for you. And the same thing can go for cleaning companies, residential or commercial. But you have to go beyond just, I'm just a website with a form. You are, Joe Schmo. You've had this company for 20 years. You've had the same office manager for 10 years. Amazing people serving the community, doing all this extra stuff. And you need to make that publicly available to your consumers through your Facebook posts, through, LinkedIn posts if you're more commercial side of things. You're building up that individual brand as much as the company itself, because then that plays dividends. You can use that in your ads itself. You can use it. It makes your business a lot more public, a lot more visible to people, and that costs time and money to do properly. And gets lumped into your marketing budget, and that does bring returns, but you just got to keep up with it.
It sounds like if they invest that money into that side of marketing too, like there's a lot of ways they can use that content and that material, right? Like, it's not just a one and done. Like they can keep reusing it, use it in Facebook ads, use it in Instagram, use it wherever.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely. I
random,
mean,
sorry, go.
is like I take for example, you look at your commercial cleaning company. I'm sure you have competitors in your area. Look at your competitors and see what they're doing. I guarantee you, none of them are doing stuff like that because people see cleaning companies as boring. We're just a cleaning company, right? But as soon as we have the same thing going on in my industry, we do logistics. Logistics is boring. It's old man's game. It's old school game. It's like, no, as soon as you start transforming that image, it's great. I mean, old people don't own businesses anymore. There are a lot of young people my age, 20s to 30s, who own big businesses, and they relate to stuff that is in their face, is relatable, is eye-catching, is grabby. So having that makes you stand out immediately because I guarantee you nobody else is doing it.
Yeah, and you're making yourself like an expert, not like an expert. You're making yourself the expert, especially in that area. Kind of how you pointed out earlier with the pest control in your neighborhood. They're the go-to. Cool. So, all right, one last little tip before we run out of time here. What is your what is something a little deeper dive that little nugget you can give us? Anything? I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Put you on the
So
spot.
much deeper dive. If you're running ads, get super hyper focused on the ads themselves, and this is extremely technical. But you might have pretty generic ads like, "Oh, cleaning company for you, best cleaning company in your area." Get super hyper technical on it. Make it so the ads you can make it so the ads show, like, say I live in Wisconsin, so say I'm up in Madison and I'm looking for a cleaning company. So if I search cleaning company, I can have the ad will pop up and say cleaning company in Madison, or it'll even say my neighborhood or my zip code. Say I was in Milwaukee, it would say cleaning company in Milwaukee. So make it so the ads are extremely personalized to the person, the individual. You could even have it pop up exactly what they're searching for. So say someone's searching for salt cleanup in Milwaukee. Your ad will read best salt cleanup in Milwaukee, your company name. It's like, wow, that's exactly what I'm searching for. Boom, I'm going to click it. And then if especially too, this is another pretty technical, make that path they go, the ad to the landing page to the form, it cements in whatever that search term was. So they're looking for salt cleanup specifically this time of year. Salt cleanup on the ad, landing page emphasizes we do really well winterized cleanup. We also do all these other things, but emphasize winterized cleanup, wintertime cleanup form. Hey, you're one step closer to your wintertime cleanup solution or your free winter cleaning, whatever it is. There, thank you for filling out. We'll get in touch with you. And so that resonates a lot more because oftentimes, people might search, janitorial solutions, but they might search janitorial solutions for school, janitorial solutions for gym. And if you can have that personalized ad touch at every single stage, it takes more time to set up, a little more technical expertise, but it's a lot more powerful for customers.
So not to get too in the weeds, but real quick question. So say your perfect prospects in your commercial company, say it's schools and I don't know, daycare, totally random, but could you make would you recommend making different ads for each of those situations to make them more of an impact?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And that's possible.
So you have one ad for your, what did you say, school and daycare? You have one ad for the school and then one ad for the daycare, because school problems are going to be different from daycare problems, different needs. And I mean, I don't know what those needs are, but you will.
Yeah.
So, and they know, most importantly. So make sure your ad is filled with those things and the landing page experience translates that and you'll be good to go.
Awesome, Jackson. Well, I'm going to stop us here because I know you're a busy man nowadays and you got a company to run. So thank you so much for coming on with me. I really appreciate it. It's such an awesome thing to have you still provide all this value to Cleaning Nation. And I know they appreciate you too. And Cleaning Nation, if you're out there and you're stuck in that rut and you're making some money, but you want to get to that next level, definitely go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk and hop on a call with one of our coaches, because we are really zeroing in on how to help you guys in that situation really take it to the next level. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks again, Jackson, and see you next time, Cleaning Nation. Bye-bye.
Well, here we are, the end of the podcast, and you made it. Great job. I've got a little bonus for you for sticking through with me, but like I mentioned before, if you got value out of this podcast and you want to show a little love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever the heck you're listening to this thing. Share with a friend, share the love. And as a special thank you for those of you that stuck with me to the end, how about I give you my personal phone number so we can text? It's a great way for me to get to know you, your business, your goals personally. So shoot me a text now, 602-932-6431. 602-932-6431. I am the only one who responds to these texts, and I will personally respond to everyone I possibly can as long as this number is manned. Don't know how long we're going to keep this at the end of the podcast, so grab it now. 602-932-6431. Give me a text, say hey, can't wait to meet you.